Hey there DIYers, welcome back to the Primitive Guy channel. Today's going to be the last episode of finishing up the fence, my crossbuck fence that I've been building all along the lane and then over here beside the neighbors. I've got the majority of the posts in. I got 3 more posts to do and then put up the pickets, the welded wire, and be done with it. So let's get started. Okay, so I've got all my posts set up, and all of them but the last 3 are already set in the concrete. I just poured the concrete on those last 3 and then poured water in there to set that. So hopefully by the time I get over to those, they'll be set enough that I can go ahead and finish up with the same thing I'm doing over here. So this initial set, I've already got the welded wire on, and yeah, I've been trying to put the welded wire like 3 to 4 inches from the ground. It gives enough so that when I'm doing weed eating, it can get up underneath there without hitting into the fence. And it's been working out all along everywhere else I've done that. So yeah, about 4 inches is good, and it allows little rodents to be able to still get under through the fence with no trouble, but it keeps the dogs out. So that's the main purpose of this. So yeah, again, I got the welded wire tacked on already. So now I'm just going to start putting on the panels, the slats, whatever you want to call them. They're actually the picket fence, you know, for actual picket fence, but I'm using them for all of my my fencing, and it's working out really well. So again, I'm just going from post to post, and I'm just from the start one, of course, I'm going to be right on the edge, but I measure over to the center and then I'll cut. And I'm not using a tape measure or anything. I'm just pretty much just measuring. I just put the board up there. So I put the board up there like that, and then I just measure right into the center of this post. And so then I've got those marks, and I just cut that and then tack it on. And so I've been able to do this whole thing, a whole fence, without measuring anything other than the distance between my posts when I set those. Everything else has just been you know, measuring with the actual supplies and marking it, and it's been working out really well. So one thing that I had said in other videos, I'll go ahead and explain it here again, is that when you're putting these posts up, you want the curve of the grain to go in towards the fence itself, so that way if there is any warping, it'll warp that way, as opposed to, you know, putting it so it's doing this and it warps out. That just doesn't look as good aesthetically. So here, if you can see the grain's going like this, so this is going to face the fence post that way towards the welded wire. So now that I've got that, let's get my safety glasses on. The other thing, I'm not using any kind of a sawhorse or anything when I'm cutting this stuff. I just basically using my leg. I've got it out far enough so that I know for sure I'm not going to get the saw into my leg, and I just cut like that, and it works out really well. And this board basically is going to line right up with the bottom of the fence wire, and that's how it's going to go all along the bottom. Need longer screws for this end piece, just because it's at an angle. put another screw in this one. Okay, just like that. Then this next one, I use this board as a measuring. It's going to be the distance between the bottom one and the second rung. Again, I'll check the grain. Measure. Okay. So now that's that. The next thing we do, before we do the crossbuck portion, we'll set the top one. Find my marker again. And this one's actually going to be right in line with the top of the railing of the welded wire. Oops. Okay. Just like that. And now I can just measure the crossbuck portion and know exactly where I need to go. Okay, so now this is going to be the first angle, and the way I'm staggering this is like the board that is just like I guess you would do with shoelaces. The board that is behind here will then be behind going back up. So the board's behind, you follow its design, it's always the one that's back behind, and then the one that's in front will continue to stay in front. It just looks visually most pleasing that way. So anyway, so I got this marked here. That's just the corner, and then I got it marked here where I'm going to cut. So I cut that little wedge off. So that'll be nice and parallel with the post. Okay, now I got that, and I need to mark where this gets cut. There, right there, yeah. Need to pull that out just slightly. Not quite lined up. Okay. Now this one's going to be the opposite. Be like that, and like so. Get there on that corner, line that up over here. Get that marked. Okay. I need to mark this over here. Oops. Gotta keep closing that lid. The pin's gonna dry out on me. Okay. Come on. Okay, there's the first set. You can take a look at that. It's just like that, then all the way down. And what I'll do is probably just so it's more streamlined, I'm gonna set all the bottom ones, come back and just doing each one at a time. And it seems to go a little faster that way. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm all done with my fence, and here I'll go ahead and show you. Like you can see, it goes all the way down. We got a total of like about 650 feet worth of fence. Got coming up here to my first gate. I got this little space in between. My main gate, which is a 16-foot gate, and then over here between my neighbor's property. Goes down into the thick, and I think I put in roughly 120 posts, and each post is roughly 5.5 feet apart. So I guess yeah, that works up to a good quite a few posts. That's a lot of work. I don't even know how much time I have involved in this, but I have roughly about $2,500 into this. Again, when I was originally quoted to get a fence installed by a professional installer, it was over 10 grand. Of course, they were going to use different supplies, so I went on the cheap side of supplies. Again, the actual post, I'm using landscape timbers, and I'll bury them down Again, they have concrete footers, and then for the panels I'm just using the pickets, and it does have a 3-foot welded wire on the back, you can see. And overall I'm very happy with the way this turned out. Again, it was a lot of hard work. I actually went through one auger. I bought cheap auger on Amazon. This is roughly like 150 bucks for an auger. It was a 72cc Chinese made auger that came with 3 bits. Came with a 4-inch, 6-inch, and an 8-inch bit. And I pretty much I blew the motor on it after I got about halfway through the fence. So I bought a second one. I actually got a little cheaper off of eBay, and then they had the protection plan you could get. So I think I paid like $130 for it, and it was another 72cc, pretty much identical to the one I got. But I paid like around $20 or so for a protection plan that gave me like a 2 or 3 year warranty. So if anything happened to it, but it lasted on through getting the rest of these set. So you know, for what it costs to buy these augers, man, I would have spent a fortune in renting by the amount of time I had involved with everything. The biggest problem I had in the whole process was I would run into, being that this is Georgia clay, there was a lot of limestone throughout. And also when I got around the trees or bush, there was roots that I was running into, so those were always a problem. But got through it, and again, the wife's super happy. Got some good compliments from neighbors and delivery people, and overall it was definitely worth the time and energy and money spent on it. And anyway, if you like what I did here, please like and subscribe below, and hit the notification bell for any upcoming videos we got. And they got more stuff coming. So actually I'm working on a shed right here that I'm building, and I've got most of that documented. That'll be coming out here soon, so stay tuned. Thanks for your viewership.